Before you scroll, if history matters to you, like and subscribe. This one's important. Super like and subscribe for more on.
Ancient India was a land of immense wealth and knowledge. It was a beacon of civilization. Its universities attracted scholars from around the globe. These scholars came to study philosophy, mathematics, and astronomy. India's riches, from spices to textiles, were traded far and wide. The kingdoms of the Mauryas and the Guptas marked periods of great prosperity. These empires fostered art, literature, and science. The concept of zero, a fundamental mathematical concept, originated in India. This invention revolutionized mathematics and laid the foundation for future advancements. Ancient India was not just materially wealthy, but also spiritually rich. It was the birthplace of Hinduism and Buddhism. These religions spread across Asia, influencing thought and culture for centuries to come. Ancient India's legacy continues to inspire the world with its timeless wisdom and vibrant cultural heritage. India's golden age saw the rise of magnificent empires. These empires stretched across the subcontinent. From the Chola dynasty in the south to the Pala dynasty in the east, India flourished. Trade routes, both land and sea, connected India to the world. Indian merchants traded silk, spices, and precious stones. These goods were highly sought after in distant lands. This vibrant trade led to the accumulation of immense wealth in India. The Chola dynasty, known for its naval prowess, established trade links with Southeast Asia. This era witnessed a flourishing of art, architecture, and literature. The magnificent temples of Khajuraho and Tanjore stand testament to the architectural genius of the time. The epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata, written during this period, continue to captivate readers worldwide. The Mughal era marked a new chapter in Indian history. Babur, a descendant of Genghis Khan, established the Mughal Empire in 1526. The Mughals, with their Central Asian roots, brought with them a distinct cultural identity. This identity blended with the existing Indian traditions, resulting in a unique fusion. The Mughal emperors were known for their patronage of art and architecture. The Taj Mahal, a testament to eternal love, stands as a jewel of Mughal architecture. Akbar, one of the greatest Mughal emperors, implemented policies of religious tolerance. His reign fostered a period of relative peace and stability. However, the Mughal Empire also saw its share of conflicts. The empire's later rulers faced rebellions and internal strife. This weakened the empire, paving the way for the arrival of European powers seeking to exploit the situation for their own gain. Section 4. The Shadow of Colonialism. The British East India Company's grip. The arrival of the British East India Company marked a turning point in Indian history. Initially, the company came to trade. However, it gradually began to assert its political dominance. The company exploited divisions within the weakening Mughal Empire. The Battle of Plassey in 1757 was a decisive moment. The company's victory over the Nawab of Bengal marked the beginning of its rise to power. The company's control expanded rapidly. It secured trading rights and began collecting taxes. This marked the start of British colonial rule in India. The company's primary objective was profit maximization. It exploited India's resources and people for its own economic gain. This exploitation had a devastating impact on the Indian economy. Local industries suffered, and farmers were forced to grow cash crops like indigo and opium. Section 5. India under the British Raj. Systematic exploitation and resistance. The British Crown took direct control of India in 1858. This followed the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. The mutiny, sparked by controversial rifle cartridges greased with animal fat, spread across northern India. It was a testament to the growing resentment against British rule. The British Raj, as the period of direct British rule is known, saw the systematic exploitation of India's resources. The British government implemented policies that benefited Britain at the expense of India. Raw materials were extracted from India and shipped to Britain. These materials were then used to manufacture goods that were sold back to India at exorbitant prices. This economic exploitation was accompanied by political and social oppression. Indians were treated as second-class citizens in their own land. They were denied basic rights and opportunities. This discriminatory treatment fueled resentment and resistance against British rule. Section 6. The Rise of Nationalism. A Nation Awakens. The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed the rise of Indian nationalism. Indians, subjected to decades of colonial rule, began to demand self-governance. Educated Indians played a pivotal role in this movement. They formed organizations to mobilize the masses and challenge British authority. The Indian National Congress, founded in 1885, became the leading voice of Indian nationalism. Initially, the INC advocated for greater autonomy within the British Empire. However, over time, its demands shifted toward complete independence. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi emerged. They galvanized the Indian population with their message of non-violent resistance. Gandhi's philosophy of satyagraha, based on truth and non-violence, resonated deeply with the masses. He mobilized millions of Indians to participate in civil disobedience movements. Section 7. India's March to Freedom, the Struggle for Independence. The Indian independence movement gained momentum in the decades leading up to World War II. The war weakened the British Empire. It also strengthened the resolve of Indians to break free from colonial rule. The Quit India movement of 1942, launched by the INC, demanded an immediate end to British rule. Following World War II, Britain, facing economic hardships and pressure from the international community, granted India independence. However, the partition of India into two independent nations, India and Pakistan, resulted in widespread violence and displacement. On August 15, 1947, India finally achieved its hard-won independence. This marked the end of centuries of colonial rule. The journey from the grandeur of ancient India to the struggle for independence is a testament to the resilience and spirit of its people. India's story serves as a reminder of the human cost of colonialism and the enduring power of the human spirit in the face of oppression.
India awoke to freedom after centuries of colonial rule. A new dawn had arrived, yet the path ahead was fraught with challenges. The nation bore the scars of exploitation. Poverty was widespread, a cruel inheritance. Millions struggled for basic necessities. Illiteracy was a shackle, holding back progress. Divisions along religious and caste lines ran deep. The fight for independence had been won. Now the battle for a brighter future had to begin. The journey was never going to be easy. Generations had suffered under foreign rule. Resources had been plundered. The social fabric had been strained. But the spirit of the Indian people remained unbroken. There was a thirst for a better tomorrow, a belief that their sacrifices would pave the way for a more just and equitable society. As the years passed, disillusionment set in. The dreams of prosperity seemed distant. Politicians who had promised the moon delivered little. Greed took root in the corridors of power. The needs of the people were forgotten. Self-enrichment became the priority. The gap between the haves and the have-nots widened. The poor remained trapped in a cycle of poverty. The elite prospered, their wealth often acquired through dubious means. Trust in institutions eroded. The seeds of discontent were sown. The promise of independence felt betrayed. Corruption became a cancer, eating away at the nation's soul. Black money flooded the economy, undermining legitimate businesses. Scams and scandals became commonplace. Public funds meant for development were siphoned off. The very foundations of democracy seemed shaken. Religious and communal tensions were exploited for political gain. Riots erupted, tearing at the nation's social fabric. The politics of division gained traction. Brother was turned against brother. Fear and mistrust became the norm. Progress stalled as the nation grappled with these internal demons. Section 4. Uneven progress, lingering wounds. India's journey has not been without its successes. The nation has made significant strides in various fields. There is a growing middle class. Technological advancements have transformed lives, but the progress has been uneven. Millions of youth struggle to find employment. The education system is failing to equip them with the skills they need. The rich-poor divide continues to widen. Farmer suicides paint a grim picture of rural distress. And still, politicians use religion as a tool to divide and conquer, exploiting age-old prejudices for electoral gain. Section 5, a call to action, hope in unity. Despite the challenges, there is hope. The youth of India, a generation that has grown up in a more interconnected world, are demanding better. They are impatient for change. They yearn for a nation free from corruption and injustice. Their energy and idealism are a beacon of light. This is the time to rebuild India, to reclaim the promise of our forefathers. Let us embrace unity, transcending the barriers of caste, creed, and religion. Let us be guided by wisdom, choosing leaders who prioritize the nation's well-being over personal gain. And let us act with humanity, remembering that compassion and empathy are the cornerstones of a just and equitable society. The future is ours to shape. Let us build an India worthy of our dreams. If this moved you, share it. Let the world know India's real story. Share, subscribe, rise together.